Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Damian Livicic, the host for Fight for Life and the new show, The Book Corner. And today I am really honored to have Emee Estacio here with me, who is really awesome. She actually really helps us authors just get to the next level, and she actually just pushes us to basically a next level. Reason why I say that is because she is a self-published author herself. She actually coaches the self-publishers out there, and she's even made a whole community of self-publishers and also just giving advice. Thank you, Emee, for just joining me today, and I'm really happy that you've joined me today.
Well, thanks for having me, Dame. I'm really excited to share what I know to your listeners.
Awesome. Emee, just to give us a little bit of a background on who you are and what actually made you decide to go the route that you've taken in the author/publishing world.
Yes, well, I'm actually a chartered psychologist and I'm traditionally an academic. So before I went into self-publishing, I've already published like 30 plus journal articles. Actually, my first proper job, if you like, is I was an editorial assistant for a scientific journal. So I've taken that path. I've written textbooks, published textbooks with the traditional publisher. But it felt to me like that the traditional publishing route is a little bit slower than I expected. There's a lot of gatekeepers to overcome. And in terms of the creative freedom and the control and even the royalties, there's not a lot of power given to the authors, because you're basically handing over the power to the publisher. So when I've decided to go the self-publishing route, when I look at what's involved in self-publishing, I got scared a little bit because as an academic in the past, all I did was do my research, write my stuff. I hand over everything to the publisher, and they deal with the rest. They deal with the editing, with the cover design, with the marketing, the distribution, and so on. But as a self-published author, I'll have to learn the publishing side of things. So after I write a book, I need to package it. I need to market it. Okay, in terms of distribution, Amazon does that, but I had to learn the entire process. So at first, I was a little bit scared, but I realized, we are in this day and age where information is freely available. If you have a question, if there's something that you don't know, the internet is there. You can actually find the information that you need. There are books, there are blogs, there are YouTube videos. So I taught myself how to do that. I read a lot. I watched a lot of videos. And for the past 2 years, I've self-published my books. All of my books went to #1 bestseller during launch week, simply because the system that I follow actually works. And now I'm teaching other self-published authors how to do that by simply following that system. And it works every time. Every time my students launch, they get to #1, because once you know how to do it, all you need to do is follow and rinse, repeat. And that's it, really. So I really enjoy self-publishing. You have more control over what you write. You have more control over the time frame. And frankly, I actually do earn more royalties as a self-published author than with the traditional publishing route, which surprised me, but it's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you actually mentioned the whole thing of you actually gain more royalties, and I've noticed over the past, let's say, 2 years that I've been writing books myself. Um, People still want to go the traditional publisher route because they feel that, let's give it to like an expert. But do you think it's actually because they are actually afraid to actually take that book into their own hands and make it successful just by putting in that hard work that they actually need to do?
Well, the thing is with the traditional publisher, you're not even entirely sure if they are going to do a lot of work in terms of marketing your book. Obviously, in our case, because it was a textbook, I wrote a textbook for a traditional publisher. Their marketing tactic was targeting students and getting your books on the reading list, going to universities. So that worked. But as a self-published author, you can do that yourself.
Mm,
But you don't have to just leave your book alone on Amazon. Once you've uploaded it, you cross your fingers and hope that people are going to find it. You actually need to learn how to market it, to keep promoting your book. And as far as what I teach my students, and particularly in the community, I would say that the most important part is the first week in launch week, because I tell them that in the first week, or maybe even in the first month, your aim is not necessarily to make tons and tons of money.
mm,
For my students, you might just break even in the first month. But the aim of your first month is to try to get your book in as many hands as you can. You could start off with the free promos. You give your books for
mm,
free for a couple of days and then go for 99 cents. But the aim really is to try to get your book in the hands of many people, because if they love your book, then they are going to recommend it to other people, and it ripples from there. That is actually the number one aim for launch week. But at the same time, when you have a lot of sales in your launch week, or for some people they go for the whole month, like they have the launch month, you are attempting to trigger the Amazon algorithm. And when Amazon finds that you are a successful self-published book, it will show your book to more readers organically.
mm.
So that's the thing. If you are successful during your launch period, then Amazon is going to help you to keep up those sales. And if you ask me, as far as my books are concerned, they are actually selling pretty much on autopilot. I still do podcasts such as this, so it actually increases my audiobook sales, which is
Mm.
absolutely fantastic, because people are listening to podcasts, and instead of reading a book, they would download the audiobook. But I'm earning consistent royalties every month to pay my bills, because I managed to trigger the Amazon algorithm at the start of my launch. So that's what I would say to my students. The aim of the first month is to show your books to as many people as you can, and try to trigger the Amazon algorithm, because when Amazon detects that your book is doing well, Amazon would want more money, right? They want you to sell more books. And if there is already proof that people are buying it and people love it, then it will, Amazon will actually help you by showing your book more.
No, that's true. I mean, I've noticed over the last year, like you said, it's all about that promotion. How many people can you get to actually, get that book? Whether it's through that free promo or whether it's actually just the marketing in general. Here in South Africa, I've seen a few people and people that are actually quite well known. They actually do quite well. Why? Because they actually know how to market it. And what they do is, like, for example, the book launches. Like, for example, you say you normally have a book launch week, but there are some people that do a whole month. And there are guys that I know that have done a whole month, but where they actually travel the country and they
Mm.
go everywhere just to actually make awareness of what their book is about, where can they get it, if they want to, if you've got like printed copies there for the people that are there. You know, a lot of people forget the aspect of that promotion, and I think when it gets to that point where, like you said, you actually, once you've cracked that algorithm where Amazon's like, hang on, but this is actually going quite well. Let us put it to more readers that can actually see this book. I mean, obviously, that's where the reviews and the ratings start also coming in, and but not just that. It's all about, once you've cracked that, like you said, you can actually get to a point where it goes on autopilot, and people go, "Hang on, but I've seen this book before. Let's go and check it out." And
Yes, absolutely. And it's good that you actually mentioned reviews. For my students, I do encourage them to have at least 10 reviews when they launch. Reviews are really important because it gives your book social proof. So when you have the 99 cents promos, for example, and if your book has no reviews, even if it is relatively cheap,
mm,
if there are no reviews, people will still be reluctant to buy your book, because they're not really sure what they are getting. Even if there's a free preview, doesn't really work as well when you have reviews already on your page. That's really important. So if there's anyone who's planning a launch soon, make sure that you actually organize a launch team and get them to review your book before you promote it more widely to the masses. Because when you have reviews on your page, it makes it easier for people to say, oh, look, people have read this book and they've left these fantastic reviews. If it's only 99 cents, what have I got to lose? So that's one reason why reviews are important. But second reason is that the more reviews that you have, the more likely, again, will Amazon will show your book to more people, because it helps with your search engine optimization. When you have the right keywords in the reviews, it helps to bump up your book when people type in keywords in the search bar. So reviews are important also because it helps with the search engine optimization. And when you reach number one bestseller, this is what I love about success bringing in more success, is because when your book is successful, you get the number one bestseller badge. And when people type in when they are looking for a book on Amazon and they see a book with that orange bestseller badge, they're more drawn to it, because there's, again, social proof. So as I've said earlier, launch week is really important. If you can have a whole launch month, that's even better. But what I didn't mention earlier is in our group, I'm quite hot about keyword research. Doing your research, your keyword research and market research before you write your book. Or for some people, it might be too late. They've written their book and they haven't done their keyword research yet. But you can still do that before you upload. What you need to do is you need to identify what people are looking for when they are going to Amazon. What sort of words are they putting on the search bar? When they look for books on Amazon. And when you understand what people are looking for, it would be easier for you to package your book, to identify a title or a subtitle or a cover, the book description that actually caters to what people are looking for. So again, apart from reviews are really important, but keyword research, market research, really important, because that will allow you to package your book in a way that will be appealing to people. You already know what they are looking for, so you basically give what they are asking for. And when they find it on Amazon, then it will be easier for them to get it.
No, that's true, and I must admit that like you said on the group, you're very hot on the keyword research. I know this for a fact because every single time she gets a chance, she speaks about keywords. And ladies and gents, literally go and check this group out, because it is, if you are an author and you want to just take your, not just your writing, but your marketing or anything, just your knowledge on the self-publishing world, I think this is the group that you have to be on, because Emee just she makes it simple, but she goes in depth all at the same time. And
well, it's ironic, isn't it? That's actually why I call the group Self-Publishing Made Simple. Because self-publishing, I have to say, there is a process that you have to follow. That's why, when I go on my Facebook lives, I do go in depth. But I want it to be as simple as humanly possible, because it can be overwhelming.
Yes.
There are many steps that you need to consider. And the thing is, for some authors, they miss a couple of steps. So and what I've noticed is the number one step that most authors miss is the keyword research.
True.
They basically write something that interests them, which is understandable. They will write something that they know inside out. They will write about something that they're comfortable with, that they have expertise in. that's absolutely fine. But if people, your readers, aren't looking for it, your books aren't going to sell because they don't need it.
Mm.
You know, if you're just writing a book because you want to write a book or because you are interested in something, well, good for you. But if you want to serve your audience, if you want people to actually read and buy your book, then you have to understand what they are looking for. And that's the power of keyword and market research. If you ask me, I'm a psychologist and I'm interested in using psychology, applying psychology to make people feel better about themselves, to boost their confidence, to help them overcome their fears. So I'll give an example. In my second book, I was writing about helping people to overcome self doubt, you know, helping them to boost their confidence and so on. So I did my keyword research. I looked for the keyword confidence, and it generated like several thousand searches per month. And I thought, oh, that's fantastic. You know, people are actually looking for this kind of book.
Yeah.
However, even if it is a high search volume keyword, the competition is also quite high. So
Mm.
there are several hundred thousand competitors using that particular keyword. So that's the thing. I may have identified the high search volume keyword, but the competition is also quite high with some really well established books already in that keyword. So what I tried to do was I typed in all sorts of other things, and I typed in the keyword imposter syndrome, right? Because it's a buzzword at the moment. So I typed in the keyword imposter syndrome. I saw that there were about 4,000 plus searches per month on that keyword. Not extremely high, but it's actually good enough.
Mm.
But at the same time, the competition is really sparse. You know, there's not a lot of competition there. So that's why my second book is called Imposter Syndrome Remedy, instead of like self-confidence now,
Mm.
because of that keyword research. And now when you type in imposter syndrome or imposter syndrome book, my book is actually high up in the search page. Sometimes I'm actually the first book that you will see when you type in that keyword, because I've optimized my book's title, my description, my subtitle for that keyword.
Mm.
So yeah, so that's why I'm hot on keyword research, because when it comes to making your book more searchable, you know, make it easier for your readers to find you. Don't second guess. Find the data and use keywords for your title, subtitle, for your book description, and even for your reviews. When you put in high search volume, low competition keywords, your readers will find it so much easier to find your book because they are already looking for it in the first place.
No, that's true. I mean, like you said, just on the imposter syndrome. I mean, before we went and recorded this, you said to me, hey, Damien, it sounds like you got a bit of an imposter syndrome, which I actually admitted because it just stopped me from actually, just carry on with my own momentum, because I was always like, I'm not ready yet. That whole little, I like to call it the obstacle of actually writing the book, or even just
Yes, yes. And
promote.
that happens to a lot of authors. They either don't start writing because they feel like they're still not ready. They're still not, they're still learning more.
Mm.
When the fact is, you can start writing and you can continue learning as you go. But on the other hand, there are those who will start writing and they don't let their books go, because they, again, the self-doubt. They will say, oh, it's still not ready, even after 10 people have already read their book and told them it's actually fine. Even after it's been professionally edited, they still think that it's still not ready, again,
Mm.
because of the self-doubt, because of the imposter syndrome, because of the fear as well that they might fail, fear that they will be criticized. But unless you release the book, you'll never know.
True.
It
True.
will always stay in your head until you actually let it go. But the beauty of self-publishing is even after you've published and you feel as if you still need to improve it some more, or if you've spotted some last minute errors, you can always re-upload a new version, and within 4 hours it's there.
Mm,
So really, you have no excuse for not letting your book go, because you can actually update it anytime you like.
no, for sure.
That's the beauty of self-publishing. With the traditional publisher, it will take you months, if not years, before the updated version is put. For our textbook, we are now in our sixth edition, but it takes us like 2 to 3 years before you put in the new edition. But when it comes to self-publishing, in 4 hours, after you've uploaded the new version, in 4 hours, it's there.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
yeah, that's wonderful.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Emee, for just sharing your expertise on this matter, because I think there are a lot of authors out there that are looking at starting, or they've already started their writing journey, and a lot of them are a bit lost. And I think it's a great direction just to give them that they can actually say, oh, okay, you know what, I know where I must go, all that. But let's say they want to actually join this group that you are in charge of, the one that I'm also on. Where can they find it, or how can they connect with you? Can you just give us a little bit more information on that?
Sure. It's pretty much on Facebook. So it's called Self Publishing Made Simple. I do have a Facebook page, so all of my lives are there. But if you want to join our community, the Self Publishing Made Simple community, all of our members are free to download the starter kit. The Self Publishing Made Simple starter kit, which will outline all of the steps that you need to take to be successful in self-publishing. So it's not just about writing a book, uploading it on Amazon, and then crossing your fingers hoping it will sell. Those aren't the three steps. There are far more additional steps that you need to take to be sure that you are successful on Amazon. So that includes the keyword research, that includes building your launch team, having a professional cover designer. But if you join our group, Self Publishing Made Simple, you can download that starter kit, so you can outline all of the steps there, and take it one action point at a time. And inside the group, we keep each other accountable. I know that there are a lot of steps involved in self-publishing. In our group, it's a really friendly, supportive community. We celebrate our wins, we share our challenges, and every Tuesday, I actually go there live, 11 in the morning UK time, to answer any questions people may have, because the checklist may be there, the starter kit may be there, but there are things that you just want to ask, or maybe you're feeling uncertain about what you're doing. I'm just there, and you can ask me anytime. And the beauty in this group is because I keep people accountable. If you're going to say that you're going to write 1,000 words this week, you bet that I'm gonna ask you if you've done it this week. So it does help people to keep them going, and I'm actually proud that the people who've said that they're going to publish it in this time frame, that they have actually managed to do it, and not just launching it on Amazon and publishing it. Every single one who've launched in the group actually made it to #1 bestseller, which I'm really absolutely proud of. So if you're thinking about joining the group, it's called Self Publishing Made Simple, and we'd love for you to join us.
Awesome. Guys, seriously, go and check that group out. You've got that free starter kit. Literally, note the word free. You know what they say? If it's for free, it's definitely for me. So just go and have a look at that. And trust me, it is really awesome to see. Even if you don't ask a question, just go onto these lives and just listen, because there are times where you might have the same question as someone else, and all of a sudden, boom, there's your question, and you didn't even have to ask it. So I suggest go and look. And like I said, it is such an awesome thing to have a free starter kit, because you never know, especially if you're a new guy out there looking at the author world and getting into this beautiful world of self-publishing. go into it and then go and check those steps out, because it's literally a step-by-step guide that you've got. So literally, thank you again, Emee, for just jumping on the first episode of the Book Corner. I am really honored that you have jumped on, and I'm definitely going to be posting this to the group as well, so that people can see that you were on it, and basically you are really awesome. So thank you very much again for just jumping on here.
Thanks for having me, and I hope that that was very helpful.
No, it was definitely. Guys, catch us again next week, Wednesday. If you are watching this on YouTube, please go and hit a like. Maybe ask a question below. If I find that question, I will post it to Emee so that she can go have a look at it. And also subscribe, and we're going to just be posting more of these episodes. So have a great one, guys, and we will be back again next week, Wednesday. Cheers.